Now for round 2 of the straw bale gardening. This is the second season that I'm planting in these same bales. Remember, I planted in the fall and I had winter crop all winter. And now I'm starting in the spring for my summer crops. All I did was go ahead and pull everything that I had in it before, compost whatever was left, and harvest, you know, what I had. And now coming back, if you remember, I showed you last time in the fall how to start from seed right on top. This time I'm going to show you how to start from starter plants. And these I started, you know, in some cups just to kind of get them a head start, because of course it's springtime and it's a greenhouse, so I start ahead of time in my cups so that I can get a little bit of a head start. Very, very simple. As you can see, I told you that because they're beginning to break down, because the bales are getting kind of old, I went ahead and put cinder blocks around to kind of just brace everything up to keep it from just falling completely and totally out. So now I have everything, you know, nice and braced and ready, and we're going to go ahead and start on round 2. And it's very, very simple. When you're doing it like this, all you're going to do is take your bale wherever you're going to plant, whether it's side by side or down the center. And I think this is going to be a large plant, so I'm going to probably just do these right down the center. And just pull the hay apart. Get your whole root system out. Pull that hay apart. Drop it right down in there. Close it in. Once everything is planted, we'll water it in, and it'll just take from there. No weeding, no problem, no hassle. You know, every once in a while, if you see that, you know, you might in the summertime, in the wintertime, I didn't even spray anything for bugs. I didn't do anything to it. We'll see in the summer if I have to do something. I'm assuming maybe ants or something like that, but we'll see how it goes. For everyone that's been asking for updates on the straw bale and hay bale gardening, I'm on my second season with them. You know, I started all of this in the fall. I conditioned them and I planted in the fall for the winter. I used them all winter long. I harvested, pulled everything out, and just planted right back in them again in the spring. The only thing I did different, and of course now this is my summer growth and they're doing really, really good. The only thing I did different is in the fall I mostly planted everything from seed. And in the spring I planted from cups because I started them in cups while I still had crops in them in the winter in the greenhouse. So they did get a little head start in the cups, and I do find that that seems to have helped them out a little bit. They're doing really, really well. But other than that, you know, there's really not much difference from the first season to the second season. They're actually doing better this season than they did last season. So, you know, the more the composition, the more the breakdown, the better for your plants. So they're doing really, really good. Everything is producing. Everything is either full of vegetables or full of flowers, and they're growing like crazy. I'm going to show you the difference between some of the plants that I started in here and some that we started in the dirt to show you how much better these actually are doing. They're just doing great. Right, and these things are growing everywhere. The watermelon are doing really good. This is a yellow bean plant, and it is full of beans, and I've been eating them off the plant because I just love raw beans. But they're growing like crazy. They're just everywhere. And I'll give you some close-ups to show you the flowers and the plants and how well everything really is doing. And again, super simple. Still have not weeded or pulled grass out of any of them. There's nothing growing in them except what I have planted in them. It's been so easy. No pulling, no fertilizing, no weeding, no nothing. The only thing I have done is when I first transplanted everything, I watered them with a fish fertilizer, a fish emulsion. So it's organic, it's not, you know, a bunch of chemicals and stuff. It's basically rotten fish juice, and it stinks, but it's okay because the plastic's off the greenhouse now, so we get good ventilation. And that was just to kind of help get them started a little bit. Other than that, they've been doing great. They're doing good on their own, and the stuff is growing, and I'm very satisfied. Very easy growing system. As you can see, the tomatoes are just growing like crazy. And I will go ahead and show you some that I started in the ground that, well, we started them in cups, but they went to the ground. So these and those are really the same age. but these are just so much bigger and healthier, and they're just taking off. Of everything I've planted, I can easily say the tomatoes like it the most. The watermelon too, and I wasn't even planting watermelon, but I did some for my husband, and they're doing good too. But everything is took well to it. There's nothing that I found that didn't like it, but the tomatoes definitely love it. And these are the tomatoes, same age, planted at the same time. These are growing in the ground compared to the straw bales, well, hay bales. Some of them are straw, some are hay. People have been asking which does better. They do exactly the same. If they're conditioned right, you won't have any problem using hay, and it is cheaper. Alright, I think this will probably be my final update for the spring and summer hay bale gardening video, because I think everything is pretty much in bloom at this point, and you can see how well everything is doing. Again, just like square foot gardening, because there's no grass in here, you can plant so much more in a small area. See, I've got beans growing in and ground cherries growing in with parsley all together. It may look like a jungle in here, but when I tell you every single thing in here is edible, it is. So it's like a food jungle. So it doesn't matter how closely I put things, because there's no grass. Everything is edible. You know, I have pepper plants and peanuts and echinacea and turmeric and berries, all kinds of berries here, and tomatoes back there. My tomatoes are doing great. They're everywhere. And cucumbers and watermelons and beans and strawberries. And the watermelons are still growing. They're doing great. There's a bunch of them in there. Still growing. And though you have to look through the shade cloth, you can kind of see around in the back. That's a cucumber. You know, all the tomatoes that are growing all throughout this thing. Doing great.